Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge. I'm your host, Andrea Hawk. So I hope you guys are all having a wonderful Wednesday and you're excited for day 2 of our challenge. It's actually day 3, but Monday was a welcome day. So I'm very excited about today's challenge. We're going to be doing some hover components. So welcome everyone in the chat. We've got a lot of you guys today. Jesse, Cornelian, Lindsay, Niklas, Tim. We've got Jan. Jan is singing some Christmas carols in the chat. Hope you're feeling better, Jack. Awesome. Well, glad you guys are all here. Let's go ahead and hop on over to behance.net/challenge/XD. And of course, as always, this is where you can find everything Daily Creative Challenge related. So if you're not already registered, go ahead and sign up with that big blue button up here. And this is a little bit about how it works. So each day you'll receive a challenge. Be sure to join our community chat and Discord. If you're not already a member, I think we've got like 29,000 of you guys now there. Awesome. Growing just crazy by the day. Be sure to watch our daily live show right here. I'll be on every day at 11:30 Pacific time. Besides the weekend, we're taking a break on the weekends. And lastly, be sure to share your work to get feedback. You can share it on Discord and on Behance with the keyword XD Daily Challenge. So just let us know if you want feedback. We are always excited to look at what you guys are working on. So yesterday we worked on a custom perfume or cologne web experience, and we focused on using components. So today what we're going to focus on is building a web page for a furniture store, and we're going to work on the instructions. So like the step-by-step, you can do a digital instruction manual if you'd like. And what we want to focus on is the hover trigger. So I'll show you how to do that. I feel like a lot of people still don't know about the hover components and everything. So I want to teach you guys about that today. As always, if you want to grab the starter file, you can get that in Dropbox over here. Just go ahead and hit download and direct download, and that will get you this file, a little bit of a starter, bunch of links and resources and stuff. And yeah, so the rest of these will obviously fill in whenever we come to that day about what prompt it is. And these are just some extra resources. So if you want to join us on Discord and you're not already a member, you can click right here and that'll take you to the sign up page. So this is Discord. If you have not browsed through it, we've got lots of awesome designs. I haven't had a chance to go through this morning, but I'm going to do that after this stream today. But you guys had a lot of awesome ones for yesterday's challenge about perfume website. So if you do want to get feedback on your work, just submit it in any of these channels. Just make sure you're putting it in the right channel. So we've got current challenge, bit of a tongue twister, past challenge, and design other. So anything else in your portfolio that's not related to the challenges, or if you'd like a portfolio review, you can put your work in there. And then you can see who's online, got some mentors over there. So that's a bit about Discord. And let's go ahead and hop right into our design. Okay, so here we go, make this full screen. Welcome everyone. Richard said he is excited about hover, fave new feature. It's definitely up there for me, one of my favorites. Yeah, awesome. Okay, so like I mentioned, we're going to be designing a web page for a furniture store and creating the digital instruction manual, and we're going to make it a little more exciting than you would think a digital instruction manual would be. I know a lot of people have like misconceptions about building IKEA furniture and it's very stressful, but we're going to try to make it as not stressful as possible for our users. So we're going to focus on hover. I always like to give you guys a little inspo, some examples, but to be honest, I couldn't find too many great examples of like DIY instruction manual sort of interfaces. So this is what you got for today. We've got, I thought of IKEA, of course. That is the staple when it comes to like DIY furniture. So if you want to show, the product, different steps, WikiHow has, a great example of just showing each step, showing the photo with it. This one, DIY furniture ideas, I don't know, I just wanted to show another idea. You can see they have, step by step with the photos. You can show different views of the furniture, different pieces. Maybe you need to include like the nails and the screws and things like that. So just get creative. And then below that, we've got resources as always, some of my favorites. You can click around in there and see what I recommend. And lastly, of course, be sure to share on Discord and on Behance when you're done. If you want to share just like work in progress, a screenshot, or the actual prototype, whatever you're working on, that's totally fine. So, all right, let's dive in. So I'm going to be working on a web page. Again, like I mentioned yesterday, I feel like I've been doing just so many mobile apps. So I'm really trying to just branch out, do something different. It's good to have a variety of different screen sizes in your portfolio so people don't just categorize you into one specific screen size. And we need to know how to be able to design for different sizes for responsive as well. So, okay. Top left here, I've got my little logo. Pretty simple furniture store. On top right, of course, we need like the cart. We need a profile icon and just our menu. And then on the right side here, I'm going to add a little bit more of a description. So this is going to be a table and chair set. Going to add like the color and such. On the left side here, I just have this lovely image I got from Adobe Stock. Just going to place that right there. And then what I want to do is be able to hover over certain parts of the chair and the table and just tell users how they can build it. This obviously doesn't have too many steps, so we're going to get kind of creative with like how many steps you need to actually build one of these. So yeah, and I'll show you. I found this on, let's see, Adobe Stock. It's where I find all my images. So you get like a 30-day free trial. So I just searched like modern furniture, something like that. And I recommend if you do want to do a piece of furniture, I recommend finding something that's not too busy. Like try to find something that's like maybe this one would work. Something where the background isn't too busy because we want to just have people focus on that one piece of furniture itself. So like this one, there's not really much you can actually put together with this one, but maybe a ladder or something might be a little better. So this is what I'm going to use. Let's go ahead and start filling in some of our description on the right side over here. So I'm just going to add, let's see, like cost. And this font is Source Code Pro. Just keeping it very basic, kind of like modern. So maybe it's like $700 for, whoops, deleted that. $700 for this set. This is like an upscale piece of furniture, so we're going to make it pricey. Group those, and I'll copy this, and then we'll add like difficulty level. And we'll say maybe it's medium difficulty level. Let's copy this again, and we'll add maybe color. You can choose what color you want of the furniture. Got some little circles down here. So I used the repeat grid to create these little circles. So if you want, you can add a prototype or a trigger for being able to either hover over each of these circles or click through them, and maybe your photo updates with the different colors. And lastly, let's add the construction steps, or just steps. Copy that. Okay. Gonna make this a bit larger so we can see all the text we're adding. So let's say, again, we're gonna need to get creative with this since I don't think there's that many steps with building these. So let's say like screw the legs into the chair. screw legs into chair. It's pretty basic. Screw legs into tabletop. I should have picked a more complex piece of furniture. That's okay. We're just focusing on hover today, so it doesn't need to be too complicated. Step 3 can be like add the gold pieces, add gold covers to the bottom of the legs. Step 4 could be like add foam pads. Getting creative here, to the bottom of all legs. And then step 5 might be like add a pillow for a cozy touch. Okay, so super simple. So maybe we should change the difficulty level to easy since there's only 5 steps. Okay, so now that looks good. Oh, I want to add these little arrows. This is just a rectangle with the pen tool for those arrows. And maybe this is like the user could flip through all of the photos, and then I'll flip this. Okay, that looks good. Now let's focus on the meat of what we're trying to focus on today. So the hover. So what I want to do is hover over like 5 of these little areas over this photo, and then be able to see like a rectangle that kind of expands or gets big and shows whatever step that you're supposed to focus on. So I've created this little just simple circle group. So circle and then border. And what I'm going to do is make these components. So if you watched yesterday's, you might have a little bit of a heads up on how to create components. So this is the components panel and the asset panel over here. And this is where you can see, I'll actually delete all these. Delete, because we don't need any of those. Where you can see all of your components, all of your elements that you can reuse throughout the rest of your artboards. And if you update one, the master, the rest of those will update. So super time saving. So what we're going to do is I want to, right now it's not a component, so we need to look over in this little area of the component panel here, and there's nothing's happening right now. It's just grouped. But when I press the plus button, now it says component master, and we've got the default state. And you'll notice that it changed. Let me zoom in a bit. Now it is green around the border. Previously it was blue, so we know it's a component. What we want to do is press the plus button right here, and you can either add a new state or you can add a hover state. New state might be just like a pressed or disabled, or if you want it like outlined or some other kind of button state or element state. You can get creative. And again, you can rename this if you were doing like pressed state. I'm just going to leave it on hover state. And now I want to add this little element, just a rectangle. We're going to zoom in on whatever area we want to focus on, give a little description. And what we want to do is add this in. So whenever we hover over it, it expands. So when we add this, we want to make sure we're not in the default state, we're in the hover state. So click that, and then we just double click in and paste our little rectangle. And there we go. Super easy. That's the hover state in a nutshell. So what step was this? This was screw legs into the tabletop. So this should actually be step 2. So let's say step 2, screw legs into tabletop. Pretty simple. So let's bring this back to the default state. And let's preview this so you guys can see how it looks. We'll make sure that when we go over into the prototype tab, we'll make sure this artboard has the home button selected, and go over into play so we can preview. So this is our web page. When we hover, super simple. So now our step 2 appears. So that's looking good so far. And let's go ahead and add the other 4 of these. So I'll copy this element. Let's see. So screw legs into chair, we could put that like right here. We've got number 2. Number 3 is add the gold covers to the bottom of the legs. Add the foam pads to the bottom of the legs. We can add that there. And then add a pillow. Little decorative touch. Okay, so now we just need to do the same thing for each of those elements. So I'll copy this. And this one, again, we'll add a component. So now it's the master component. We're in the default state. And then I'll press plus again to add the hover state. And just make sure I'm in hover state and paste this element. I do want to make sure that this is brought to the front, so that circle is behind. And then we can bring it back to the default state. And let's just do that again. So the third one, that will be this one. Again, let's make that a component. This is the default state. We'll add the hover state. Great. Double click in and paste it. Can put that right here is fine. And let's see. We just need to change the text a bit. So this is step 3. And it's add gold covers to the bottom of the legs. Looks great. And I'm not adding like too much animation. If you wanted to for the hover state, you could have it expand, or you could have it like snap in or something. So for instance, when I go back to default state in the prototype tab, you'll see the trigger is hover. It automatically does that. The action is auto animate. The destination is hover state. And I have easy and out for 0.3 seconds. Again, you could do bounce if you wanted to. That wouldn't really make sense in this instance. Wind up, any of those, you can play around with the triggers. Let's see, what were we on? The 4th, so we need to add this one. So let's make this a component as well. And add a hover state. Again, double click in. And we'll say step 4. And add foam pads to the bottom of all legs. Great. Bring this back to default state, so it's at the default. And the last one is the pillow one. Not really a state, not really a step, but we just want it to have 5. So make sure we're in hover state, paste it up there, and just update the text. So step 5, add a pillow for a cozy touch. Okay. Maybe pick something a little more complex, ladder or something. Okay, so that looks great. Wanted to keep it very minimal with the circles to kind of match the photo. If you wanted to make it more of like a specific manual, you could, sort of with like the blueprinty look. That would be really cool as well. But I just wanted to keep it on the actual product page, letting the user know before they purchase something, what they're getting themselves into. Oh, I do need a CTA button. Otherwise they wouldn't be able to add it to their cart. So let's add that button. Okay, we'll just make it black. And I'll just say add to cart. Add to cart. Make it white. Bring this right here, center it, and group that. Okay, let's preview it. And again, previously before components, you would have had to make at least 5 different artboards for this, because each element has its own animation. But now we can have as many states as we want within each component with only one artboard. So that's really cool. So let's preview and see what we got. So step 2, step 1, that was step 4. So I'm just hovering over all of these. Oh, I forgot to change the photos. So if I wanted to as well, like here, I could double click in. That photo was fine. But like this one, if we go back into hover state, double click, I just want to move the photo around a bit, showing the gold covers on the legs. So let's see. Yeah. So you would do that for the rest of these. So yeah, that looks pretty good. Super easy. Okay. Let's Command S to save. Did you guys have any questions? I'm so bad about looking in the chat. Looking. Nyasha says, love the font. Richard said, I like your component set. Oh, Jofian never noticed the flip there. Yeah, this, just flipping these elements super easy right here. I didn't notice that for a while either, so you always learn something new in these. Okay, so Command S to save. If you did want to make a prototype or an MP4 to upload to Behance, you could just press this play button, and then the little record button is up here. Press that, and you could just show yourself like hovering over each of these items, and then press play again to make it stop and save it as whatever you want, and it will save an MP4. So I usually upload that to my Behance. Where is Behance? There we go. So I've already got a project started. We can just press edit to edit it. And then you can add, like I have here, the prototype already added. Make sure that you go over into settings and you add your XD Daily Challenge keyword in that discoverability tab so that we can find your work and give you feedback if you would like it. Cool. So that is looking so great. Let's go over and search what you guys are working on. Excited to see. So I'm searching XD Daily Challenge, and I usually search by most recent this week. Let me refresh this to see if there's anything new. Most recent this week. Awesome. You guys have been very busy. I have 2 pulled up already. So this one is by Chris. Hi, Chris, if you're watching. Okay, good. Very nice. We've got, this was day 2, rental payment experience. Oh, this was from November. Okay. Let's save that for after then. So this one was by Sarah Newman, and I love the aesthetic here. Very minimal, nothing too in your face. We've got lots of negative space. So she's showing about the challenge, the colors she used, and the typography. Gotta love Avenir. And this was the perfume one from yesterday. So I love that you showed the product on the right with all of the areas that you can add scents. So that's a good idea. I should have used that. And on the left here, we've got create your own and what step you're on. And then all of our scents down here. She chose some photos. That looks nice. And a way to tab through all of the different filters. So that's a good idea, like floral, aromatic. Nice. Let's see the prototype. I'll make this full screen. Ooh, and if you saw that she added, when you hover over it, the image gets larger. That's a nice touch. And then when she clicks on any of these, you can see the image adds over here. That's super nice. I have no bad feedback to give. This is great. Awesome. Continue to step 3. Ooh, and look at that animation. You guys are just going above and beyond. I want to see that one again. Hover over the image and we see the arrow, or the button and we see the arrow. That is nice. Good job. Okay, so that was Sarah. Let's look in Discord too. I feel like I don't show on Discord as much, mostly on Behance. Okay, so this one, Sargil, just the first one that I'm seeing. This is the perfume one as well. Ooh, I love your colors. Very nice. And let's see the prototype. See what we got. Ooh, that was fast. Let me go back. Okay, so from wireframes to high fidelity design. That's a cool idea, showing both of those. Got a little bounce there, animation. Very cool. Like that. Maybe one more. Oh, we don't really have time for one more. Okay, well, I'll keep continuing to look on Discord, though, and give you guys some feedback, because I know we had a lot of you guys yesterday posting your work. You're looking amazing. Awesome. All right, guys, that's about all the time that we have left for today. Thank you all so much for joining, and I'll see you again tomorrow at 11:30 Pacific time. Be sure to stay tuned. In about 5 minutes, we've got our 2-hour live stream with Ann Wang. And that will be awesome. All right. Have a great day, guys. Bye.